What's up, guys, scouts? It's your host of the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys another Kengan Omega discussion video. You guys can tell from the thumbnail, you guys can tell from the title. This is the continuation. This is the part 4 discussion from chapters 76 up until 97. 4 videos making up almost 100 chapters. We're going to get caught up in goddamn no time, and then possibly be doing weekly reviews. Wouldn't that be exciting? But anyways, this time, unlike the last video, because I was just so excited that Oma was back, the starting of the Purgatory versus Kengan Association tournament and the like and stuff like that, and discussing the rounds more verbatim, I didn't really make a whole lot of notes last time. This time I went back to the format, which is a little longer videos, let's be real, but I did make sure to note anything important or anything that I noted between 76 and 97, especially. You know, I did the same thing for the first 2 videos. The third video, not so much. I just ranted and raved and had a little fun bit, right? So, this time, let's just start it off from the beginning. I'm just going to go down my note list, and then we're going to go from there, okay? So, number 1, Edward Wu is not a fighter. Alan Wu is a fighter, so clearly from the same clan and stuff like that. But that sort of, like, did I miss something? Because I remember, like, once again, this could have been a sponsorship thing, but I remember when he was on the boat, Edward was there, and he was talking to the head of the Purgatory Association, Irimatsu. I forget exactly his name, but because it's been a while. But he was talking to him about entering the tournament. Now, granted, that's left open-ended, that not necessarily Edward Wu was going to enter, but a representative of the Wu clan was going to enter. Maybe that's how he had it. I don't know. But either way, yeah. So Eddie's not entering the fight. That was kind of like a, really? You know, you set me up for that just to bring me down a peg. You know, I was sort of hit and miss with that particular reveal, right? So, and then apparently the Wu and the Worm are working together, what we learned from these chapters, you know, with Zai Jun or whatever, talking with Edward Wu and stuff like that. So we have the understanding that the Worm is an association and has ties to apparently Tiger Nico, but is not necessarily part of the Wu clan. Maybe some of the Wu members are associating with them, but more of a, hey, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. They're not exactly one and the same. So, yeah, we get that. By the way, I didn't mention this before, or I might have mentioned it, but Okubo in the clown outfit was goddamn. And the fact that, like, at first I thought it was a gag. Like, he's going to show up like, we're going to clown these bitches. Let's go. We're the Kengan. We are the legends. Let's go. We got we got 2 fangs. Oma somehow is alive. We have Kure Ryan. We got me. We got Gao Lang. We are solid, motherfuckers. We are solid. Like, we don't have Gensei. We don't have Hatsumi-sen. We don't have Mikazuchi Ricci. But we have Wakatsuki. We have Julius. We're the Kengan Association, motherfuckers. We are going to clown on you. Make you our bitches. We're going to make a joke out of you. Honk, honk, big nose. All that fun jazz, right? So that's what I thought he was doing, sort of like a go fuck yourself sort of idea. But he has kept the clown outfit on this entire time. And let's say props. You gotta acknowledge the props there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, he deserves the glass race for doing that, because he has stayed within the clown outfit for now like 4.5 rounds. It's hilarious. It's hilarious to me. I really like that. It's within character for him to do that, and then just keep it going. Like, that joke doesn't get old with that man. So round 4 begins within these chapters, right? Round 4 begins. Now, you guys already know my feelings about round 1. Even, like, some of the strongest fighters in verse have said, we all know who would have won that fight if it was a Kengan match. Don't feel bad about it. They're using the advantage. And once again, I don't hate Carlos for that. I think some commenters thought that I didn't like Carlos for some reason. I like Carlos as a character. He's actually one of my only, so far, Purgatory fighters that I actually like. I liked Carlos. And he used the advantage against Gao Lang, who wasn't used to the whole ring out situation in that regard, fighting in death matches, that kind of idea. It just wasn't, so I actually like Carlos. But yeah, round 1 was sort of hit and miss for me. And then round 2, of course, was total horse shit. And then we got round 3 and, so anyways. And round 3 was sort of whatever to me. But now we start round 4. Now what I love about this is in my notes right here, I say, oh great, another we can win by bullshit not being a stronger fight. Handicap like crazy because this is the one that's like, oh, we're going to do a spotlight thing and the light is going to shrink slowly but surely and stuff. Like they're literally... The fact that they're playing by Purgatory rules is fine, but the fact that they're also then adding more rules on top, like these like cage matches and specialty matches that the Purgatory fighters would be used to, but clearly the Kengan fighters wouldn't be. Not only are we sitting back and playing by Purgatory rules, but then we have to also then play by their special rules on a whim. That's kind of horseshit to me, and I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake, another excuse to make this go on to go on the full amount of rounds, which I do expect it to go, but the ridiculousness of the fact that they're going this far, like it just, like listen, like that part is getting a little old to me. That part's getting a little old already, and but then, surprise, because we have Misasa, I believe that's how you say his name, Misasa, who was apparently the one who taught Katara's own son. Katara's own son was taught by this fucking man, this bodyguard, who became the 8th Fang. We don't know who the 7th Fang was, by the way. There's clearly something weird there. That we don't know who or what, and I expect the 7th Fang to show up eventually. However, this is the 8th Fang. Remember, the 5th Fang was Kano Agito, who has become a far better character as of Omega. Regardless what you guys think of Omega, Kano Agito a far better character already within Omega than he ever was in Ashura. And then the 6th Fang, of course, was this, the face and only Jason Voorhees' mother could love sort of character. And then we had the 7th Fang that we don't know about, and then we have Misasa, the 8th Fang. And now he's versing the 6th Fang, right? Now, the thing is about the 6th Fang, the thing is about Yumin Garahar, whatever his fucking name is, who cares? This dude is a bitch. I already called him out being a bitch, and let's be real. Misasa even says, because I think before these chapters, didn't he say, haha, I see that Agito's there. You think I'm actually going to fight you? No, I'm not going to fight you, motherfucker. I'm not going out against you. That tells me right away. That told me right away. This man is not Agito level. He is nowhere near. He's a fodder. He's a bitch. He's not fodder. Like he did. But the fact that Jose, I like Jose. Or Jose. I like him. He's probably, as I said, outside of Carlos, probably my only favorite member of Purgatory. I don't really like anybody from Purgatory. But I like this man from Purgatory. And he managed to break this motherfucker's arm. Shatter it. Break the bone completely. He lost, but he broke his bone. That dude couldn't do that to Agito. So I already knew that this guy was no match for Agito, and the fact that he was like, ha ha ha, you think I'm going to let you fight me? No fucking way. So we already knew he was a pussy. And then Misasa comes out here, the 8th Fang of Metsudo. And this goddamn man, who knows he can read lips, don't you pussy out, bitch. And that fired this motherfucker up because he said, I'm not going to let you bring me into the ring, 8th Fang. Oh, I'm going to kill this motherfucker. So he's a meathead. He's a loser. He's a meathead. And the 6th Fang is such a big pussy, as strong as kind of my ass. Bullshit. About anyone on our side. I wouldn't be surprised. Okubo could beat this guy. Gao Lang could beat this guy. Wakatsuki can beat this guy. And most of the fighters on the Kengan side can beat this motherfucker. Seriously. They all can beat this motherfucker. Regardless of the spotlight shit. No. Most guys can beat this motherfucker. And, well, we already know what happens. Misasa doesn't even show his full strength. He just fucking wins. He clowns this fucker. Clowns him. 6th Fang of Metsudo my ass. No good. No good. So then we move on to round 5, right? Now, round 5 is where the worm deal happens. Now, I'm going to be real with you guys. This is where some of the plot line, like I heard a lot of people don't like the worm plot line. So far to me, maybe it's because I'm binging it. It's not overly bothering me. I find it like, all right, worm after worm after worm is sort of happening here. Like we got too many subplots going on. Like basically, unlike the first one, unlike the Kengan Annihilation Tournament, which at the end of the day was the most important thing going on, these subplots are seemingly more important than Purgatory or Kengan winning overall. And I'm getting myself a little worried here. Like the tournament is becoming a subplot, and there's too many other plots coming before it, sort of idea. So I sort of get that, but overall, it's not bothering me too much. The idea is that Ryuki kills his opponent, who's apparently one of the worms and stuff, and we get a nice moment. We get a nice moment with that. Naiden, I believe his name is. I don't know how to say the name, of course, because pronunciation is not my strong suit. But Naiden and Louis, whatever. Their relationship is actually kind of nice. A fellow Purgatory, one of the 3 Demon Fists. Their relationship is quite nice during this round. We see that they formed a friendship, even though he was basically a sleeper agent, that kind of idea. He still formed a friendship with him and stuff like that. We get to learn a little bit about this, is that he calls him Last Child. He calls Ryuki the Omega. He tells him, like, he can't kill and stuff like that. Like, he says, like, your grandfather's wrong. All worms are evil, yet you won't kill me. So clearly was your grandfather wrong this whole time? Like, he's messing with his psyche. This is actually really good Ryuki character development. Now that I know that Ryuki is basically probably only Oma's clone at the best, he's only a clone of Oma, now I'm more accepting of him as a character, in the fact that he psychologically was conditioned in a very brainwashing Catholic Church cult sort of mindset, right? And then he started, after meeting Koga and realizing, well, Koga told me that killing is wrong and blah, blah, blah. He's starting to question his morals. He's starting to realize, he's starting to gain a moral compass, if you will, a conscience, if you will. And right now it's being totally like gear against gear. It's sort of like, all right, here we have our Monster Energy drink and here we have our alcohol. And it's like clink, 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 clink. Something's got to snap. That's how heart attacks happen in bars. So, because people are stupid and they have Jaeger bombs, which is actually Red Bull and Jaeger. But that's not the point. The point is that you can't have 2 opposing forces, 2 ideologies constantly smashing against each other like 2 gears trying to turn opposite directions. This one's clockwise, this one's counterclockwise, and boom, boom, boom. Something's got to give. Something's going to break, something's going to overheat, something's going to snap. Right? That's just how machinery works, that's how logic works, that's how the human body works. We are just one very complicated machine at the end of the day. So, and psychologically, this is what's all happening up here to Ryuki. And in the end, he ends up killing him, and because he egged him on, that is really unfortunate, actually. And then we actually get the confirmation of Gao Mukaku, and we actually see him. Apparently, he's still alive, and he did raise Ryuki and stuff. I mean, I don't think this is a fever dream. I think this is legit. So Gao Ryuki is technically, Mukaku is alive. And still, he did teach his grandson, or who he told was his grandson, the Gao style, which is a really shitty version of the Nico style, but still is still around and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think there's more to this plotline, more to that story, but yeah. So, anyways, so Liu comes in, or Liu, and he ends up like, because he's just enraged that Naiden is dead. Ryuki, even though it was like he egged him on and blah blah blah. And see, this is where it's gonna get like this for the rest of the video, is that Kengan members are gonna end up killing their opponents, and they're not gonna count that as a W, but they're gonna count it not as a non-match. They're gonna count it as a W towards Purgatory, just to make this shit last longer. And it's like, oh my fucking god. So clearly, from what I understand, Purgatory trash. Like, realistically, they're not trash Compared to Kengan members, they're trash. Yeah, on their own right, they're probably fine, but they are no Kengan Association members. They are no Kengan legends. Oma beats this entire lineup. Agito beats the entire lineup. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kuroki Gensai beats the entire lineup. Like, 1v1, they win against all these fuckers. Every single one of them. From what I've gathered so far, even Kure Ryan probably wins against everybody too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting here and I'm going, all right. So these guys are, this is the moment where we start seeing, like, they're not calling non-matches or like 0-0 on either side. They're giving the W's to Purgatory, even though that they fucking literally kicked the shit. They kicked the shit so bad, they killed these fuckers. But it doesn't count. It doesn't count as a non-match. It doesn't count for them. It counts against them. That's just, yeah. So they're trying to egg this on, and that's an easy plot device, and I'm not a huge fan of doing that. Is it epic? Yeah. And is it plot relevant? Sure. But the fact that they're doing it, you know, alongside of things like the Falcon's Poison Claws, which are cheating. I don't care. That's cheating as fuck. Gao Lang's, you know, ring out things like that. Like, it's just, like, we're making too many things that are going against Kengan, you know, just to add to the tension, but it's so obvious that that's all they're doing. You know, it's smoke and mirrors, at least for me. So at this point, I was enjoying it, but I was seeing the obvious pseudo-tension being created by just pure horseshit, right? So at least that was my take. What do you guys think? Let me know. But at the end of the day, what ends up happening is Oma stops Lou from attacking Yamagohan and Koga, who rush out there to try to help Ryuki because somebody's been murdered, and he's like shaking, and he's psychologically been tortured right now, and at this point he's broken, and this is very, very sad. This is very, very sad, and I'm actually liking more the storyline we're going with Ryuki at this junction, at this point. Maybe won't like it later. I didn't like it initially. Now I'm sort of liking it, so we'll have to see how it develops, right? But Oma ends up, boom! Fuck off, you're not attacking Yama fucking Gohan. That's my stepfather, motherfucker. You step back! That's what this man is saying. He's like, I don't care, 3 demon fist my ass. I'm the Ashura. Fuck you. As in, assuring your demise. I'm the Ashura. I assure everyone who's the winner is, you know? Like, I'm not taking any of that shit. So, Todaya, the leader, Todaya Edamata, whatever his name is, the leader of Purgatory, right? He believes Nogi in the end of the day and gets hand of our man, Mutaba. We can't have Omega without our man, Mutaba. Mutaba is more man than you or I. He is just a beast. He is a fantastic. He is a 10 out of 10. He is just a man among men. So I'm super happy to see him again. And then we start round 6, which is Agito. So Agito's going to fight against Lu Tian, one of the 3 demon fists. And it's also, in the middle of this, we also learn that it's Tiger Nico time. It's Tiger Nico time because he made the formless stance, the one that Agito uses apparently, and he was the one who locked away Kano before Metsuru got him out. This basically the gauntlet, the thing that Kano was rescued from Metsuru. That was basically Tiger Nico's thing. He started the whole thing. Is that a little contrived? Is that a little like, all right, retconning? It's not really retconning because it wasn't stated who did that, but it's like, Jesus, did Tiger Nico do everything? Like, really? How? Like, the man's what? 45, 50? Like, how many lifetimes would you need to go around and do all the shit that he supposedly had his hands in? Like, it's just too much for me. It's just too much. So it's a little plot convenient for that sense, but at the end of the day, apparently Lu Tian of the 3 Demon Fists is actually not Lu Tian, and he's another member of the Worm, but he's also the true apprentice of Tiger Nico, and he has the perfect formless stance, because Tiger Nico abandoned the Nico style because the Nico style was irrelevant, and at the end of the day, formless was far superior. This is what Tiger Nico found, and so he learned all the true techniques of formless, and Agito apparently can't beat him. Now, the reveal on the tongue, the blah, that shit, if that were the case, if I hadn't been... Okay, this one goes out to Neve. No, that wasn't enough. Not quite, but it'll have to do. You ruined this moment for me. You absolutely ruined this moment because that fucking stupid tongue thing with the meme and all that shit was just so fucking atrocious for so goddamn long. I couldn't stand it. The editing on every other goddamn page. This was not a bad moment. When it came, I was sort of surprised because I didn't really recognize the face because it was so squinty-eyed and so stoic and stuff. I didn't expect the that kind of shit. So when it came, I was like, oh, this is that, reveal moment. And I was like, that's actually kind of cool. Like it's not a bad reveal moment because we had, them revealing the worm symbol on the arms and stuff. But I mean, hide one on the tongue. It's classic anime villain shit. And same with the eye patch thing. You open the eye and the eye has, it's very Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhoodo because I mean, that was also done with Envy and Sloth and all them and stuff like that, right? So, fine dandy for the worm symbol to be on his tongue, but the overuse of the meme by Neve was just from Miss Content's Discord, just for anybody who cares anything about this. You can skip ahead. I'm almost done, but yeah, I had no problem with this reveal. I was like, okay, the worm is clearly infiltrated a lot members, and we're really focusing on the worm plot line over the tournament right now. I'm not necessarily a fan of that, but I don't dislike the worm plot line. I just don't like the idea that because it's been going on since the beginning and the end of Ashura, or even before that, it's been going on. But I just don't like the overuse of that meme. Just killed this moment for me, which was otherwise, I don't get why it's memed so much. It wasn't a bad reveal moment. It's basically like, yeah, not only am I the superior use of formless Agito, because we always thought the 6th Fang versus the 5th Fang, and Himura Ryo said, hey, he's as strong as you, if not stronger, sort of idea. We all expected the matchup and stuff, and he was a coward. Is he really going to face him? But then we had round 4, and then it was like, okay, so who's going to face Agito? And this motherfucker shows up and saying, I'm better than you. I'm what you were supposed to be, and I'm stronger than you. So it's like, okay, I mean, let's go. And he was very powerful. Let's be real. He was very powerful. So Agito's formless was considered incomplete, and he survived the goo. He learned more. The Nika style was abandoned. All that fun jazz happens. Also, Zia G is the most annoying and pathetic character I think I've met in the entirety of the Kengan series. I'm trying to think of somebody I hate more than the Zia G guy. Zai G. Nobody knows how to pronounce an X China, so stop using it. Yeah, I have no idea if there's anybody I despise more than this motherfucker. He's cowardly, he's pathetic, and he thinks he's top shit all the fucking time. He's trash. He's so annoying. But then we see Kuroki Gensai bringing us the wisdom. He said, 2 flawed swords against a flawless spear. Basically saying that the mix that he used in the Kengan Annihilation Tournament. Remember, Agito found this thing, which I had a problem with. I did have a problem with it. I acknowledge this. I had a big problem with the idea that he randomly, after Formless was defeated, he instantly learned crazy level martial arts. And was able to be a completely different personality, and boom, able to, but not only a different personality, but able to turn on a different switch and use a totally different thing to beat guys like Gao Lang and Hatsumi Sen. And I was just like, this is a bit of an ass pull. And I still believe it was a bit of an ass pull. It needed more hype up. It needed more to the story. We needed more to learn about this, right? So, I never liked that. But the idea that it did happen, and Kuroki still beat him. Now, it was a high diff fight, but he beat him. But Kuroki mentions that Formless, at the end of the day, this seems like an invincible style unless you're up against someone at Kuroki's level. But realistically, it's not. A master of one is better than, as he says, 2 flawed swords against a flawless spear. 2 swords, you have 2 weapons, but if they're chipped and damaged, and this spear is made out of diamond, you're never going to scratch it, right? So, comparing the idea that he never mastered Formless, like Liu Tan did, but he also never mastered martial arts because he was trying to focus on one or the other depending on the situation. So, I mean, bringing us to wisdom 100% right there. But then he also says that he fixed the lag time in this fight between Formless and Arts so that even if Kuroki went against him right now, he's not convinced that he would 100% win. Now, people are probably taking this like way too far. What Kuroki said was he's not 100% confident that he would win. Not that he can't win. Not that Agito is as strong or stronger than him. He's not guaranteed to win, as in, no problem. It'll be a high diff fight, but I know I will win. What he's saying is that's not the case anymore. The case is Agito actually has a chance of beating me. Not that it's a good chance, but he's got a shot. And I'm like, all right, that's fair. This man is humble. This man is awesome. So then, so after that, I mean, in that, we got the Wu clan apparently has a version of remove because they're all, the Kure clan and the Wu clan and another clan, they're all like the same fucking clan and they all came from somewhere like 5,000 fucking years ago. They split off into the new world, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, that's just a history lesson, who cares? At the end of the day, they all have a form, basically removal. It's all removal at the end of the day. Tiger Nico apparently learned it and he taught it to some people, and he's like, listen, without the proper bloodline and conditioning, even because he learned it from Edward Wu. So Edward Wu knows Tiger Nico. But at the end of the day also, if Tiger Nico knows it, he even, like Edward even told him, is like, look, without like conditional breeding, pretty much, you ain't doing this. Like, unless you're breeding stallions like we've been doing in our clans, which is kind of gross, but we've been doing it forever, like, the removal ain't gonna work. It's gonna kill somebody. And he's like, whatever. Like, he cares about that, right? I mean, he created the Advance. He created Fallen Demon, from what we understand. So, yeah. But anyways, at the end of the day, we learn all that, but it doesn't matter because Agito fucking wins. And I don't think he won mid-diff, but I don't think he had to go 100% all out. I think Agito has more in the tank than he had to show here. But he also believes that Gao Ryuki was in the same spot he was back in the day, and he can be saved. And I'm like, oh, this is a nice line. Maybe Agito will take Ryuki aside. That'd be a very interesting twist. The Fang taking an apprentice, you know what I mean? And like trying to help him out of the hellhole that he just suffered from not that long ago. And boom, there's fucking the beautiful demon himself. There's Setsuna, who... I can't even be mad right now because the man is drippy as fuck right here. His new design, his clothes, those are designer fucking clothes. They make me look like a fucking homeless person. He is looking drippy as fuck. Not gonna lie. He looks fucking good. But the problem is that now he's about to go, and Ryuki's mind right now is completely shattered. It's broken. He doesn't know right from wrong right now, and now Setsuna is the one to influence him. No. Please tell me Agito is going to go show up. I feel like nobody's going to go show up and try to help Ryuki. They should all be credited. Right now, I know Yamagohan has to do his shit, but Koga should be there following. Like, Koga should never have left Ryuki. That's bad on Koga's part, 100%. Because Yamagohan has to be there because it's Yamagohan. He's the leader. He has to decide all the matchups. He can't leave. Koga can leave. Koga can go console his friend. Koga can go help him and, like, you know, just pat him on the shoulder, get him an energy drink. I don't know what the fuck you do in this situation, but just be there. Presence alone. Don't leave him alone, because then you have the beautiful demon show up. And then he's going to fuck with, he's going to fuck with this man, and we're going to be back to square one, and that's just going to be annoying. It's going to be like an amnesia trip in reverse or forwards. It's going to be weird. I'm not going to like it. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, that's the end of that round. Agito wins, as we all knew the Fang would do so. So we have a little moment between the next rounds. We actually first jump to the med bay where Rahito calls out goddamn Falcon on his poison hands cheating bullshit. And once again, people, if you want to call that not cheating and stuff like that, well, technically it's within the rules. I'm sorry, winning on a technicality like that, I'm not for it. Like, I don't dislike the Falcon necessarily, but I don't like him either because poison hands or cheating, to me, that's cheating. That's cheating. That's no different if Rahito, with his razor's edge, went out and got HIV, slashed himself, and threw his blood at every opponent and just, is like, well, I might not win today, but you're going to die anyways of AIDS, so, you know what I mean? Like, fucking Jesus, like, that's not winning. That's fucking blood poisoning. That's traumatic. That's like Harley Quinn picking up the cancer ray and shooting the thug with the cancer ray, and everyone's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's got a wife and kids. What are you doing? That's no way to win. But but Naiden actually forcing Ryuki to kill him. That was no. Ryuki lost that match. But Falcon literally poisoning a guy nearly to death is okay. Yeah, see, I got some problems. I got some problems with that. So I'm glad that in universe they're calling that shit out. But yeah, outside of that, we also have Carlos, who once again, him and Jose are my only two Purgatory fighters that I so far like. And he said he's going to improve even further, which is good. Like, he's thinking about all the different ways. Like, maybe he should jump up at least one more weight class. Capoeira is doing some things, but lacking in other things. So he's still trying to perfect. He doesn't think of himself as a master, even though he's set up. And I know why some people were disappointed. They thought he was set up as this, like, ultimate master, like someone that's going to be the best. And he really wasn't. He wasn't no Fang. He wasn't no Kuroki. He wasn't none of that. But it seems to me like he was really limiting himself by trying out this new method of fighting, and he's constantly trying to improve himself to become the ultimate fighter. And if he has to lose a few matches, like break a few eggs to make an omelet, he's going to do it. He doesn't care about his reputation. He doesn't care about that shit. So, yeah, like, I'm with Carlos on this one. You know what I mean? So then Yamagohan has the Fang kneeling before him, and Lolong and the two kings of Purgatory are like, yes, this man cannot be underestimated, because they have this whole thing where they're all standing off talking about the worm and stuff like that, and they're sort of like, listen, here's what's going on, blah blah blah, that kind of deal, right? But then we start the sixth match. Then we start the next match, which is a Wu versus a Kure. We got Ryan versus Alan, and it's like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? And Ryan is a beast, and he beat Oma. Apparently, like, Oma even states, like, even though he was recovering, right now the record is Ryan has beat Oma more times than Oma has beat Ryan. Now, granted, once again, Oma was still recovering, that kind of idea, and of course they weren't fighting these death matches that they did before. But in every match, Oma painfully admits that right now, like, he's creeping up on him, but currently he holds more wins. So, he's been fighting him for a year. So, I mean, that's something. That speaks volumes to me. So the crazy technique to basically be, like, there's this, they explain this whole thing, like the Wu clan is there with the the foundation of the Wu clan, and Edio, the original Fang and stuff like that, is there from the Kure clan, and they're discussing the idea of the removal, but they're also discussing the idea of a speaker and a listener for generations. And Alan Wu is basically somebody from 5,000 years, the original, the guy who started it all. And he's just like, and that's why he's talking like, the children should know their parent, blah, blah, blah. And he's talking because there's this entire idea of conditioning. This is a real world thing that has happened. It's a very discontinued practice, but it does have historical elements in it. And I've heard of this before in fiction and in historical documents. So this is an actual thing that did go down. Does it go down to this level? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But what I do know is that this is based in what people did think is a method of immortality, as is stated in the series. And it's basically like a mock reincarnation. It's mocking immortality, right? That's what you're doing. So you know what? For all the craziness that goes on in Kengan, I kind of like that they're basing something in a practice that was done thousands of years ago, and and even in the present day, in universe, they acknowledge it as, it's not true immortality, it's a mock reincarnation, but it's what they do, and it's born fruit, pretty much, is what they're trying to say. And supposedly he can use the perfect removal of the Wu clan. That is supposed to be better than the Kure clans, even Ryan's 100%, because the removal is not as good as the original, progenitor of the removal long before. They call it something else. I forget the name. I didn't write it down here, but they call it something else, and it's supposed to be like the ultimate version of the removal, the perfect version. And then, yeah. So Ryan rips him in two. And I don't mean that figuratively. I mean he literally, like a pair of fucking Walmart jeans that have lived past their prime and now time to turn into a quilt. Rip right down the center. Yep. So fuck, Alan Wu was, that was brutal. Yeah. The Wu clan is not impressing me right now. Because this man saw Edward, and there's this whole thing about this man is the reason that some of our members died and stuff like that. We are going after this motherfucker. So if you find him, you fucking go after him, you kill him. So Ryan makes this Joker demon face, and he's running after Edward. He doesn't give a shit about the matches anymore. He rips Alan a fucking new one, literally kills him, and then moves on. Now, was that brutal and bloody? Absolutely. Does it completely take away everything we've learned about the Wu clan? 100%. Because this guy is supposed to be the ultimate betrayer, the ultimate practitioner, the removal. He was using the removal, blah, blah, blah. He was supposed to be some great fighter, and Ryan just fucking shredded. He wasn't even thinking. He said, fuck off, get out of my way. I got a real opponent, and went after Edward Wu. So, we don't know what happened yet, but he's going after Edward. So, I wanted Eddie to fight in the tournament in the first place. So this Allen guy, who's the substitute, once again, this sort of feels like we're trying to extend the tournament in a way, because we're clearly going to get the fight between Edward and Ryan at the very least. But why couldn't this just have happened within tournament? We got this guy, he was super hyped up, and he was hyped up for nothing. Like, he was hyped up to be, like, super dangerous, and Ryan fucking fodderized him. Like, that's kind of cool, but it's also the entirety of this tournament has literally been fucking the Kengan members are so much superior to Purgatory. It's fucking sad. So at this point, I'm losing all tension. I know there's just going to be plot device reasons, because at the end of this fight, at the very end of this one, they decide, even though this man pulled a goddamn knife on him, that they say, yep, another one for Purgatory. And it comes from Matsudo's daughter, who is saying we should view these as separate incidents. We should. I agree with the reasoning, but I also agree with the previous reasoning that he had the intent to kill and he had a hidden weapon. Disqualification. Right there. Right fucking there. This isn't Kengan rules, remember. This is not Kengan rules. That was the whole point. These are not Purgatory rules, or these are not Kengan rules. These are Purgatory rules. So a hidden weapon was found and brandished within the match before Ryan killed him. So you could argue, I'm not saying that this is the reason, but you could argue that Ryan killed him because he threw a knife, or he brandished a knife at him. So you could argue that he fought in self-defense, and end of story. So I hate that this is just making it so we get to the final match. This is all this is doing. It's clear as day, as I've already said multiple times in this video, and that's annoying to me. Because Ryan ripping this guy in half, sure case, but if we hadn't had all the other bullshit leading up to this round, I'd be fine with the decision. But right now, the decision feels like, alright, now we're just going to make it so Ryan lost because he killed his opponent. Even though he was hyped up to be top shit of the Wu clan, the ultimate betrayer, the original progenitor, 5,000 years, fuck him. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's really cool, once again, if you're a Ryan stan, and I like Ryan. But at the end of the day, Ryan, yeah, he did that, and I don't get the reasoning of the judges here. You view them as separate incidents, sure, but the fact that he had a hidden weapon with intent to kill means instant disqualification anyway. The fact that Ryan killed him after the fact should still be irrelevant. It should be a non-match. I'm not saying give it to Ryan, because he still killed his opponent, which is against Purgatory rules. But so is having a hidden weapon with intent to kill. If you're not going to give it... The Ryuki thing was a little... like, I could sort of see it, but I'm still 60-40 on that one. And now this one is blatantly obvious that it should have been at 0-0 on both sides, but they still give it to Alan Wu. And that is totally wrong. That goes against the actual rules. That's a fact. Like, they discuss it, but they discuss it wrong. You know, like, they don't argue it enough. Like, no. It's just fucking stupid. So, yeah, I didn't like the end result of that match, because it's clear as day what they're trying to do is get all the matches in. You know, we can't have the matches disrupted. We can't deprive the manga readers of seeing Oma fight or seeing Waka fight or anybody fight. You know what I mean? Like, that seems to be the only reason they're doing this. Like, because clearly the manga does not want, like, Ryan to lose, and Ryan's not going to lose, and Galan can't lose straight up. And, you know, like, those kind of things, it feels that way. You know, the Fang can't lose. You know, Oma can't lose. Fucking Ryan can't lose. So how do we do this if all these guys are not going to lose? How the fuck do we do this? Well, first we nerf the team. We don't bring in Cosmo. We don't bring in fucking Kuroki. We don't bring in Sen. We don't bring in Mikazuchi. All right, so we're already trying to lessen the team. Then we still bring in some stars. But then we do some, you know what I mean? Like, but then we do some bullshit to try to make it work. And then we do the whole, if you kill your opponent, you're disqualified shit. Which, so far, has happened to two. So, like, yeah. Yeah, like, once again, I'm still liking the manga. I'm still liking the tournament. But I can clearly see, I don't know if you guys saw it at this point or if I'm late to the party. But plain as day, this is just a reason to keep the tournament continuing. It's clear as day that the Kengan Association is leagues ahead of Purgatory. There's a couple of strong fighters on the Purgatory side, but that's at the end of it. That's it. One or two fighters, everybody else trash. Compared to the legends of last manga. That's all I'm saying. So the legendary fighters, the mythos, the prestigious fighters. I keep saying legends, but they're more like, well, I mean, they're calling it legends in the manga, I believe, but anyways, so, yeah, so, anyways, it's getting a little bit of a hard pill to swallow in that regard, but it is what it is, and now we have the Gentle King, apparently, versus Masaki, who clearly has a history with the original Meguro, who was, you know, the judo kid, so what's going to happen here, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to like this next round. I really don't like that Masaki's back. You know, Meguro Masaki, besides, I never gave a shit about him as a character. His backstory is fine, but I don't really care about him. I mean, if you're going to bring anybody back, bring back some fucking, like, you know, like, characters I give a shit about? I don't know. Like, this just seems like a weird one to me. And this is apparently one of the two kings of Purgatory, one of the two strongest fighters. So, I feel like this is going to be a loss for Kengan once again. So we're just setting up so that Waka wins, Oma wins, that kind of deal. Maybe that's the deal. But anyways, that's what I got. That's so far up to chapter 97. We're beginning the round, as I said, the Gentle King, apparently, versus Masaki Hayami. So, and that's up to chapter 97. So that's the discussion video, guys, for these chapters. What do you guys think? Do you disagree with any of my statements? As I said, I'm not so against some of the plot lines going on, but you can tell that we're making pseudo-tension for the sake of making sure that every round happens. You know? And that's just not cool with me. That just grinds my gears, as Peter Griffin would say on Family Guy, you know, back in the day. Back in old school Family Guy. Grinds my gears. So, anyways, that's the discussion. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and the discussion. Look forward to the next section of this video, part 5. I don't know where I'll get to. Probably not the end of the tournament, but depends on how many chapters I want to cover and how much stuff goes on. Because I want to keep these videos under an hour if I can. So each video, even though we're discussing a handful of a lot of important plot points and discussions and stuff. But anyways, so That's it. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to drink responsibly, as I always do. And we'll see you guys back here next time for part 5 of the Kengan Omega discussion videos. Looking forward to it. See you back here next time. Bye-bye.